I really made a lot of mistakes and I just failed forward. The first one, I was mailing people a postcard that was handwritten that said, hey, I'd like to buy your land in El Paso County, Colorado. If you're interested in an all cash fair price offer, call me or text me. God bless you. Any man can get lucky if they ask enough women. You know, that's it. Like, you gotta like just make enough calls.
Yeah.
It takes just as much time to make 15,000 as it does to make 1,500. It takes just as much time to make 50,000 as it does, 5,000. I'm not doing this to get rich. I really just wanted to have a boat and a lake house and a mountain house and just go on vacations.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
and
no, we don't need a Maserati. Yeah, that's it.
Welcome to another episode of the CashFlow Quest. We like to dive into all things real estate, where all roads lead to the need for some cash flow.
Today we have Brent Bowers on the show, and he's a successful real estate investor, a coach, and former Army officer. So I'm excited to hear your story and kind of pick your brain on why you like land versus other asset classes. So thanks for being here today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for your service in the Army. I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
So you were in the Army for 8 years, I think, right?
Yep, right at 8.5 years. I left in 2018. I haven't had a real job since. From time to time, my wife has to tell me what to do, but other than that, I don't have any bosses. But yeah, I was able to get out with land investing. It wasn't working for rentals, and I had wholesaled some houses. Finally found land, and the cash flow on it was amazing. And I love y'all's show because really, cash flow gives us the time freedom, the financial freedom, the geography freedom. I mean, You guys are, in a different location as well. So it's summertime. We've been traveling.
Right, exactly. And kind of like you had said, you wanted to spend more time with your family and find that financial freedom, and you were able to do that with land. So that's amazing. I'd love to hear a little bit about like your history, right? Like, where'd you grow up? Kind of how did you end up going into the Army? And then when you got out, kind of deciding to do what you're doing now. What did that look like?
No normal person goes in the military. So I grew up in a small town, 900 square foot house, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, four people living in it. My mom, my dad, my sister, and myself. And I always wanted to get into real estate. I loved entrepreneurship. I was reading The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump in middle school.
Great book.
I wanted to, I wanted to build. So I started a lawn service when I was in like 5th or 6th grade. I was borrowing a neighbor's lawnmower and using it to mow other people's yards. And then I got my real estate license finally in 2007, bought that rental property in 2007. 2008 kicked me in the teeth. 2009, I was like, I got to get a job, because I also got married, in 2007, pretty much, same time I got my license and bought that first house.
Okay.
And real estate wasn't doing it for me, back then. I had that rental property and that was about it. Now I wasn't cash flowing. I mean, my mortgage was $750. I was making $900. Not a good deal when it comes to a rental property because something always breaks. So I joined the military, pretty much started all over again, and took a little break from 2009 to 2013 while I did a couple of deployments to Afghanistan, and really hit the ground running again in 2013. Started wholesaling houses and buying more rentals. And 2015, I ended up getting remarried. First one didn't work out because I was gone all the time.
Yeah.
And I probably wasn't as pleasant as I am now either. But
there was a lot going on.
You're in the trenches taking grenades.
Yeah.
Literally.
No, thank God, no grenades. Anyhow, like now there's babies involved, and it's 2015. We're moving again. I'm going on a 3rd combat deployment. I see the writing on the wall. I don't want history to repeat itself. So I'm like, how do I get out of the military? And my wife, thank God, we've been married 10 years now. Emily, she supported. She's like, I'm sure you'll do whatever you set your mind to. So I started learning land investing, bought that first property in 2016, and we were selling it. I buy them real cheap and sell them for more, but on payments. I would let people make payments to me. And that was like owning rental properties with nothing to fix.
That's amazing.
Here we are,
Okay,
many years later.
Is that your main bread and butter? Like, is that what you do?
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's what gives me the money.
Do you have to pay cash, or do you have financing structures on your side?
So I used to pay cash. I've done a number. There's so many ways we can buy these. I actually just did a little podcast on like the 5 ways you can get creative financing. But yes, I used to pay cash. I used to assign my contracts. I would get it under contract and, sell it to a cash buyer. I would use the sellers to do a seller carryback, seller financing.
Yeah.
I didn't care I just wanted to get the property somehow or another. I just wanted to buy the property no matter what it took. And I would figure out a way to sell it. I've never not been able to sell any piece of land. Over 350 parcels of land, I've been able to sell every single one of them.
Wow.
There's so many ways to buy them, so many ways to sell them.
I'm so eager.
Yeah.
This is such a piece of information I've never really thought about at length on like the deal structure, but I'm familiar with all things that you're talking about, like functionally how that works. But so like, paint me like a hypothetical land deal, like, roughly what's a target size, purchase price, and then what would you do?
Think about land, like every one of them's like a blank canvas. So it's really good to have a little bit of creativity and not be like stuck in a box, even though that a lot of my lands were like boxes. Like I started with desert squares, but I'll tell you the first one I did, and then I'll tell you kind of how we do it now. I really made a lot of mistakes and I just failed forward. The first one, I was mailing people a postcard that was handwritten that said, "Hey, I'd like to buy your land in, El Paso County, Colorado. If you're interested in all cash, fair price offer, call me or text me. God bless you." And if anybody wants a copy of that, they can get it from the Land Sharks, thelandsharks.com/postcard. I still use that to this day. I changed it up a little bit though, and I'll talk about that. But I sent out 680 of those to people that were on the county held tax lien list. This is land that's so inefficient, not buildable, not accessible, garbage land that no one wants. People weren't paying the back taxes, nor would a tax lien investor even pay the back taxes. I didn't know that. I had no clue.
So there's taxes owed on it. Like they're delinquent.
Taxes owed for like years. Like the county should have took it. Yeah, wow. The county should have took it from them. So they get my letter and they're like, "This dummy, we'll sell it to him." Yeah, absolutely. And the first guy that calls me was a CPA. He wasn't in like dire need. He's like, "Brent, I owe $285 on this land for taxes. You can have it." I was like, "Okay, can I go look at it?" And so I went and looked at it. Long story short, I had no clue what I was looking at. It's on the Pike National Forest in Palmer Lake, Colorado. And it's really crazy. This is in 2020, early 2016, January. Fast forward, I did like 20 lots out there. And I just talked to the gentleman earlier this week that I sold 20 of those lots to. And he's going to make like $3.9 million on it. And I'll get into how he's making all that money. So I didn't make nearly that much money on them.
But you strung 20 lots together, essentially, or?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the first one I did. I got that one. I bought it. I got it under contract for $285.
That's insane.
$285.
Yes, U.S., not pesos, but U.S. dollars.
Wow.
But I called the seller. I said, "It looks great. I'm going to figure this out." So I started calling all the realtors like in that area.
Yeah.
Well, that was the goal. That was the plan. You know how many it took? One. I called the real estate office on a Saturday and she's like very familiar with the area. I told her what I had. I said, "What do you think you can list it for?" She said, $10,000. I was like, "What?" Like I'm making $4,000 a month and I'm working like 60 hours a week for the military. And I'm like, "Oh my God, 10,000. I'm buying it for almost $300. So she's like, "Well, Brent, what if I make you an offer on it?" I was like, "Make it." And she's like, $5,000. I was like, "When do you want to buy it?" She said, "Next week." I said, "All right, let me go get the deed and I'll bring it to the title insurance company." I didn't run title insurance check. I didn't do like no lien search. Stupid, right? Dumb stuff. I had 8 rentals at the time. I should have known better. And I had a real estate license that I let go back. So I bring that deed to land title and on a Tuesday, and I told the seller, I was like, "I'm going to have your money for you on Wednesday. I sold the land. I just got to go pick up the certified check. Is it okay?" And yeah, it's whatever. He transferred the deed over to me. So I got paid my certified check on Wednesday. I deposited it and I met him at the coffee shop next to Fort Carson, Army base and gave him his check for $285. And I've just been doing it more and more and more. Fast forward to the guy that I sold a bunch of those to. He ended up getting all the approvals from the city and the county to get the road put in over the railroad tracks. But he had like 9 lawsuits against him also because the neighbors, it's called NIMBY, not in my backyard.
Yeah.
They didn't want anybody blocking the view on their multi-million-dollar houses behind them. So he's like looking at like a $150,000 retainer to pay this attorney to get him out of all these lawsuits. But he did a little special deal with the government to where he could sell basically tax credits. And he's like selling tax credits to big companies like Google. He's pocketing like $3.5 million.
Well,
I don't understand all of it.
They're not going to build on it.
Nope.
Right?
They need tax credits. They're called green credits, basically. And I don't know all the ins and outs about it. But I was like starting to feel bad. This guy paid me all this money for this land, but he hit a home run.
Oh, dude. Well, and so funny. He's getting sued, but they don't understand that he's not even going to attempt to build on it.
Right.
It's all gone. They dropped them all.
Okay, so he's out of it now.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So just because I want to know, I want to go all the way through it. So $285. You had clear title, so there wasn't any liens or anything.
Yeah, there's just the tax lien. That was it.
The 285.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was it.
So and the seller didn't
you netted it. Whatever, $4,700.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so you just started doing that, and you can flip them quickly.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you could get so lucky by calling real estate offices, in the local area.
Well, that's a good point. Like, the people that would be like the land brokers or land realtors, they're going to know, and they're going to be wanting to flip it. So you're kind of wholesaling land in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Any man can get lucky if they ask enough women. That's it. Like, you got to just make enough calls.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game. The second one I bought for $500. And you'd thought I'd learned how to do it with a realtor. The second one, I changed the whole process up. I put it on Craigslist, and I just wanted my $500 out of it. So I put it for $500 down, $400 a month, total of $5,000. And that guy brought me cash that bought it like within a week to my house, and we did a contract for deed. And that's the one that changed everything for me. That's the one that was getting me $400 a month.
So now you're getting an income stream. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's paying my truck payment. And I had a conversation with my wife, Emily. I was like, we just got to do this 10 more times and we're financially free.
And so is that what you did? Kind of slowly but surely?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At 18 months, I built an income of like $12,000 a month gross. Okay. That was gross. Yeah. Obviously not all of that was, I borrowed money from Peter and paid Paul, like little things like that. Yeah. I got a USAA loan on one for $30,000. That one was an awesome one. I bought that one for $75,000 and the seller did a carryback at 0% interest.
Nice.
I turned around and sold it for $30,000 down.
Okay.
And $638 a month for 30 years. That one I made $150,000 on over the 6 years of financing that I did for them. That's where the power comes from, is being the bank.
Yeah, you're in essence driving your principal value ridiculously high just because you can carry. Can carry. Like whenever I'm looking for land, okay, so I've always wanted to put up, because we're in manufactured housing. So NIMBYism is like, we make our money on NIMBYism because it's mobile home parks in the middle of the cities now,
Yes.
But then I've always, I have people that work with us now, people that ask me just where we live. So we live in San Diego. All of our investment properties are out of state for the most part. Phoenix, Tucson.
It's nice not to see those.
Yeah. Well, and the best thing we ever did was buy elsewhere because then we can't drive to it.
Yeah.
A lot of people get bogged down because you have to go out there and you get called in the middle of the night. You're like, all right, I'll come check it out. That was never an option for us because we started buying all over.
Yeah. We had to figure it out, how to manage from afar and really get those processes and procedures in play. So yeah.
Yeah,
Phoenix,
it's a true
Tucson,
business owner.
And Dallas kind of is where we're consolidated now.
We're going to be best friends. I literally am closing on my first mobile home park at the end of this month.
Oh, you are?
I won't date your podcast. 100% bonus depreciation. I'm going to cash flow like crazy. And I'm still in the land business. I'm going to sell all the mobiles to the tenants because I don't want to own those things. And we also build brand new mobiles on our land now, which has been incredibly fun. Mobile homes are just genius. So genius.
So, well, give me your mobile home park example. So you're buying a rental, all rental community where the park owns all the homes.
Yeah. 8 of them. So 8 of them. So a real small one. But the seller so I'm taking the cash that I got from land investing.
Yeah.
And it's going to reduce my tax. So basically it's going to get me to zero pretty much for 2025.
Awesome.
Almost, I think, hopefully, God willing. And because taxes are just like, they'll eat you alive if you spend all this money. So you got to reinvest it into things that make you more money.
Yes.
But the seller is financing me for 12 years, fully amortized at 4% interest.
How many total units is it?
8. So it's a real
8.
small one. My plan is to sell the units to the tenants. That way I can eliminate the property management, the bug spray, the lawn service, and they fix the park up, God willing. So yeah, I'm a little nervous because I'm used to collecting payments from landowners. So hopefully I'll just keep owning the land. So I hope there's not a lot of management, but
you'll have to manage probably slightly more than you just said, but not as much as if you're operating rentals.
Yeah.
So like you're, like that, the mobile home part, people that own the home, the key there is just finding good apples to live in your community, good people that will take care of their surrounding space. But the lot rental game, you'll do great on. It's just it's how we do everything. We sell every home we can. We operate some rentals just for as needed, but then we work to sell them off. So you'll do good with it. And then you can always groom this deal and then sell it. Like everyone on the smaller mobile home park game loves seller carry. So you could groom this and then seller carry it if you want to.
Right.
Yeah. I love it.
So, or you keep it and you depreciate it and do the whole thing. But yeah, the depreciation it's a serious benefit and how we raise a lot of capital because it's a meaningful, return off the bat on tax savings.
The bonus depreciation is very meaningful, especially in this space because, your 15-year is typically 80% of purchase price. So that's really no other asset class can compete with it. So people love it. Good for you.
Come on, cost segregation.
So we're talking to the Boxable guy after you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shoot.
We're excited.
Cool. I tried to order some of those a couple years ago, and it was like you couldn't even get them.
I think they've gotten rolling now on production, and they need to sell houses now, like in bulk. Oh boy! So we'll see.
I love it.
Because we're looking at maybe if we can maybe do a deal with them where they'll put inventory. We bought a RV park that was a mobile home park, so it's zoned mobile home.
Yep.
Like off the freeway in Phoenix. It's like close to downtown Phoenix, and it's 50 units. I'm like, hey, just start bringing in Boxables. We'll try these things out.
Yeah. Well, if you need some help with if you need some cheap mobile homes, let me know. We've got a dealer's license for manufactured homes in Arizona. That's one of the states that we're putting these on. And, we were haphazardly doing it on our land and making like $97,000 a pop. And then we partnered with another couple land sharks, people I trained how to do land, and they're doing a way higher scale than I was. And we just started hand selecting people to train and do this. And it's been a blast. I'm doing 9 brand new mobile homes right now on our land. We're making about $50,000 each on each of them.
So you're putting manufactured homes on lots that you buy.
Exactly.
So so teach me that process. So we have a bunch of people internal, like in our office. Obviously, we do 50 to 100 manufactured homes a year into our mobile home parks. So we're a dealer as well.
You're putting new ones in there.
But we do that just exclusively to keep the communities full. So we've never really done land development projects. But then I tell the team, like, hey, if you want a cool property, like go buy a chunk of land, put a manufactured home on it, and you're going to crush it because the value, like the homes are so much cheaper.
And ultimately, Blake and I have said, like, it would be awesome one day to like buy a piece of land and develop a park kind of from the ground up. Our dad used to do that with apartments. And so it's like, we were like, this would be awesome. And historically, it's just been too expensive and our investor pool doesn't want to wait, right? Because there's the boot up by the time you get the land and put the infrastructure in to then set homes. But ultimately, we were like, we want to do this as like a project because we think it would be really cool.
When building a community, like we'd want to build 50 acres, we want to build 2 to 500 units. And so that's where like, that's our dream. On the other hand is to kind of expand the manufactured housing, the realm as we know it, and make it way more nicer, way more of like a, agrihood, or what do they call it? Like the farm to table kind of communities. If you have like the mini farms and stuff, that would be
cool. Yeah.
But okay. So how do you do, like, if we wanted to, in San Diego, buy a lot and put a manufactured home on it, teach us that?
Yeah.
I love it. Yes. That's what I'm really excited about. Cause I mean, you don't only do so many land deals and be so excited about it. So it was almost like a nice little shift for us. Is it okay if I tell you the whole land process? Cause this is how we're finding the land for the mobiles.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll get right into it. So basically how it's changed from me, like shotgun blasting an entire county or state for a tax delinquent, you run out of those deals pretty quickly, and they're small. Like it takes just as much time to make 15,000 as it does to make 1,500. It takes just as much time to make 50,000 as it does, 5,000.
Right.
So I started going in and finding demand in these markets. What's demand? People buying land. Real simple. Once we found the demand areas, we micro down and we price it out. And then we have a software program that makes offers every single day to landowners. And we just got to make sure we check the mailbox in our email, because they email back to us. They sign the offer letter, purchase agreement that the title company uses. We get to market that land while we're in the due diligence and basically waiting to close to find a buyer. Usually we'll find a buyer ahead of time before we even pay for the land. So that's kind of the whole process with the land. Some will seller finance, but a lot of it, when you get more expensive land, like we're dealing with people like you guys, you got plenty of cash and investors. You don't need my financing for 30 years at 12%. I prefer you choose that.
Of course.
The way I look at that is like, that's just a constant income. That's fishing money. We can go on a fishing trip, like our bills are covered type stuff. Yeah. I'm not doing this to get rich. I really just wanted to have a boat and a lake house and a mountain house and just go on vacations. Yeah. That's it. Like, no, we don't need a Maserati. Free. Yeah, that's it. I still drive a decent old truck, little things like that. But we took that strategy, and some of my land areas slowed down where I wasn't making like big chunks of money anymore. It's like, this stuff's sitting. What's going on? Mm-hmm. Well, interest rates got higher, blah, 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 all these little effects in the market. We didn't know if we were going to go, we didn't know who the president was going to be. Long story short, I was like, well, I see these mobile homes selling. These things are dumps. What if I put a brand new one? And I, partnered up with Robert and Chris and saw what they were doing. And I looked at my past when I was flipping houses. My best profits were on mobile homes. Mm. And sometimes I didn't even own the land. The park owned the land. So guys like you own the land. I started putting these on them, and we started perfecting the process between what Robert and Chris are doing. So now we have whole another system where it's like we find where these mobiles are in demand, and we start popping them. I mean, like one area in South Carolina, the median price range is $460,000. We're putting brand new 3-2 mobile homes with walk-in showers, all drywall, standalone tub.
They're
selling
beautiful.
Things for $230 on the weekend.
So cool. Yeah.
So that's kind of the process. We're doing that on a larger scale. We're buying tomorrow 3 parcels that we're subdividing in Georgia, putting 3 of these on there. One's 64,000, one's 54,000. I think the other one's 45. Is what we're going to net on each one of those. But it's just fun. It's I call those base hits.
Yeah.
It's way nicer to sell a piece of land and make 30,000 and not touch it than it is to build a mobile. But that's shifting a little bit. Now we're seeing more seller finance deals as these market turbulence and the interest rates are up. So I'll be the bank. And anytime you can be the bank, you make a fortune.
Well, and make the interest income and be kind of the middleman. Yeah. Are you seeing more competition in this area? Are you noticing more people coming in to the space?
I'm seeing more people doing simple land flips because in 2016, no one was talking about it. Mm-hmm. So I could send out 100 offers and I would get a deal. Then it turned into 1,000 offers. Now I'm getting a deal. Still it penciled out, but I'm still seeing deals to be had. They're just not like, I'm not like fat and happy. Like now I'm starting to see a little competition in my areas of land. Am I still making money in it? Heck yes. Are land sharks making money in it? Yes.
Yeah.
But we're getting used to like my Florida mailers. I'm at like 2,400 letters to make 15 grand, which is not bad. It's just call it $1 a letter, $2,400 to spend. Yeah, I'll do that all day long. But on our mobile home areas, like we have realtors sending us land deals that we're turning away because we're like, nope, we're already building 4 in that area. We want to sell them all before we buy another one type thing.
Sure.
Now, are you running utilities or are you just doing like wells or what do you end up doing there? Are you finding lots that you can run utilities to?
Yep. Like the ones we're buying in Georgia, there's already city water and there's already a well on one of those. We just got to scrape the old mobile off. And we're going to run, we got to build 2 more septics. And repair the 3rd one. And my Florida ones, all well, all septic.
So are you, go ahead.
I think we're going to ask the same thing. So you're buying properties that already have mobiles on them?
Sometimes it works out that way, yes.
Yeah.
And those are freaking home runs.
Yeah, or older, it sounds like, or older properties that you're then scraping and putting new homes on. Yeah. So I was going to ask, are you raising money for this or you're funding it yourself?
What's really cool is we've been lending. So we brought in about 15 people now that we've trained to do this, and we've been funding their deals with regular people, like my next door neighbor, my in-laws, people just that have raised their hand. I have almost like 82 lenders now at this point because I share every day what I do. Every day I just share. And a lot of people want to learn from me and they'll pay me to learn. Or they're a surgeon or a dentist or a plumber, and they're not going to learn real estate, but they have 50, 100. I just had a guy reach out to me last week, $200K, just wants 12% interest. He loves the fact that we're building affordable housing. And I said, how long do you want to have your money working for you? He's like, how long can I? That 12% interest. So it's regular people. So that's who I use. I don't deal with banks. I haven't used a hard money lender now in probably like a year and a half, which they're awesome.
Yeah,
hard money lender is like a partner. You know, they're not gonna put their money in a bad deal.
Right. So you started a like educational course that people can sign up for to do this.
The Land Sharks.
Okay.
The Land Sharks. So it's more of a one-on-one coaching.
Okay.
I hate courses because there's so many courses online.
I know.
Like, you never know what you're going to get. It's like everyone's got a master class now. No, I'd rather hang out with people that are physically doing it and do it with me. I didn't know anything about bow hunting a year ago. So I went out with a couple, roughneck guys. I feel like an expert now. I'm going again in September.
Cool.
They taught me so much because I did it with them for a week. So do it with us. That's how you really get results quick.
The retention and you actually learn something versus I feel like the courses are a way to get a bunch of people in the room and honestly raise capital.
Which is what kind of you just said. Then those people you've coached are then maybe circling back to invest in these mobile home park projects. That's
really brilliant, actually.
Well, that's an old trick I've picked up over the years. Like, have you ever heard of Frank and Dave?
MHU, it's called MH University.
Just on their show, and you should listen to that because it's just kind of fun to hear the difference in dynamics. They've been doing it forever. They bought like 10 or 20,000 units in mobile home parks. And what they did was they were the old gurus of manufactured home communities. They'd put on these big like events where 400 or 500 people would come into a big hotel conference center. And we went one time just to make sure we were doing stuff. And we're like, let's pay the few grand and go. It'd be cool to learn from these guys and see what they're doing. Anyways, long story short, at the very end, if you learn, they did teach legitimately. So I want that to be clear. Like it was all there.
It was a course.
But then they hit you with a shotgun and you're like, oh. And so if anyone's in the audience with money, they go, to hell with it. I don't want to do it.
Can I just invest in you guys?
And they pivot at the end of the whole ordeal. It's like a 2-day course and they pivot and go, hey, we're raising a fund. And they raised a ton of cash.
I love that. See, I've been funding our community members deals, and I've had people ask me, well, if it's so great, why are you teaching everyone? Because I'm getting to do deals in South Carolina and Georgia and Tennessee and California now and Arizona, and I'm getting little pieces of the pie for just funding it.
Yeah.
And they paid me a coaching fee, And I love the fact that they're getting results because hopefully we'll do more, but I show them how to get the lending. It's real simple. You just share what you're doing every day on social media and have a call to action at the end. Hey guys, if you don't want to invest, hundreds of thousands of dollars like I have and be on site every day talking to contractors and you just want to share, you want to share in the deal, we'll secure your money with real estate and get you a lender's title insurance policy, secure your money in the first position, and I'll even pay you anywhere from 8 to 12%. Reach out.
Yeah.
By the way, if anybody in your audience, I'll probably get $500,000. No, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, awesome. It's cool.
So how much do you charge? This is more me curious, just having fun, learning.
We might change it a little bit. We charge, we've been charging anywhere from $12,000 to $14,000 for the 101. We just took 2 people on and we closed the doors.
Yep.
The first people we took on 8. Again, I have a full-time business. I'm jumping on calls. I love the coaching, by the way. That charges me up. Doing a deal by myself that bores me, but I think we're going to increase the prices a little bit. I think I like only taking 2 people at a time. That's been really nice.
How long do you then coach those 2 people in that theory?
1 year.
Oh,
1 year. And if they haven't done this deal in 6 months, I'm going to come behind them and kick them in the butt.
Cool.
Yeah, he paid us money. Just take your money and forget about you.
Yeah.
So,
well, we'll make sure we'll link it below. So if people are interested, it'll be linked here so they can find you too. But I guess
they got to mention the CashFlow Quest podcast so we can keep in communication. Guys, I want to see all these mobile home parks you do.
Yeah.
It's some of our best friends now.
Check out our deals, but we're similar in that we started really small and then we just started raising more money, doing bigger and bigger deals. I feel like I'm leaning in towards maybe doing some coaching where I teach people how to raise capital and pursue deals and different partnership structures. So if you're ever interested on that front, I can trade some knowledge for some land stuff. Cause I've always been interested in land, but it's a different nuance.
Yeah.
It's completely we buy existing mobile home parks and make them way nicer, almost like a more or less like an apartment.
Well, that's not hard to do. You just mow the grass.
Yeah. You sell the mobile home and they pay you rent, right? Yeah.
So we're a plethora of knowledge there. If you get into some binds with your mobile home parks, we've owned wells, we've had bad tenants, we've sold homes on notes, we've done all sorts of stuff. We set new homes all the time. So we know exactly what you're talking about. Well, I think a good thing to end on is, knowing what you know today. If somebody new was getting into the space, what are 3 things that you would tell them?
Pick a path and focus and make sure, do whatever it takes to do that first deal. And then look for things you can automate and then delegate those things. Don't buy yourself another job. So when I left the military, I started flipping houses in addition to doing the land deals, then got an office and had a team of 15 people. And I started getting really stressed out and angry. And my wife called me out on it, hey, I want a divorce. I said, what? She's like, you got out of the military because you wanted all this time freedom. And now you got 3 businesses. So I was feeding my ego. So if that's one thing is don't buy yourself a job, create a business. Number 2, shut off all the noise. Be really careful. Once you go down a path, be really careful about comparing yourself to others. Maybe hire a coach that's where you want to be, looks like what you want to look like, family, and make sure they're actually doing deals. Vet them. Look at settlement statements. Don't just take someone's word for it that did it 35 years ago and they're still teaching it. And number 3, remember why you're doing this. Why are you getting into it? Is it for your children? Is it for time freedom? Is it for your family? Because I meet so many entrepreneurs that I'm doing this for my family. And I'm guilty of that. I'm I'm doing this for you. My wife's upset because she hasn't seen me for days. And I don't realize she just wants to spend time. But I'm what the heck? Why are you complaining? I'm working so hard for all this. But I had a mentor tell me the other day, well, it was a year ago now, almost. I feel like it's the other day. He's well, I'll know what's important to you when I see your calendar. And there was no date days with me and my wife. There was no daddy-daughter date. There was no daddy-son dates, things like that. So that had to change. And it's amazing when you start basing your work around those things and your vacation time, it's amazing how it'll feel. But I'm not saying don't go out and hustle. There are seasons for that. There are seasons of hustle.
Sure.
Amen.
I love that.
No,
Man.
It's good. Good advice. That's
really
fun,
good
man.
advice.
Great.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Good to know you, and wish you the best of luck chasing more land deals, more mobile home park deals, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Brent.
Heck
Really.
yes.
Brent,
Thank you guys very much.
Cheers. See you later, Brent.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for another cash flow quest.
Till next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.